Welcome to the 5th episode of the Training Partners podcast. 400% more episodes than projected.
How surprised are you that we're 5 for 5 in 5 weeks?
That I'm really surprised about, actually.
I'm pretty impressed.
That we've been able to be this consistent.
I've been out of town 2 of the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we traveled and we still did an episode.
Yeah. So the real test is next week when you're gone.
Next week when I'm gone, yeah, you've got to carry the boats.
I've already reached out to who my potential co-host is going to be.
Okay.
They responded yes. So look forward to that fun episode.
Very good. I think it's like the statistic is like 99% don't make it past 10. I think I mentioned this on episode 1.
Yep.
So out of stubbornness, we have to do 11.
And then we can just call it after that.
Yeah, then we're good. Then we're better than 99% of people.
I think we already are.
That's pretty good. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Like people that are actually watching and like, we've got a couple questions. We had some good questions about sauna, asking us to break down. People really enjoyed the study breakdown. So we do plan on doing that in the future. Like that seems to be something people are into and it's something I enjoy doing. However, that stuff takes time. Like I actually have to go. Like if we're going to talk about sauna as a recovery modality, I don't want to just pick one study. I want to actually go. I haven't like read through all the paperwork in a long time. So we'll do a deep dive on that. We can, as we do more Hyrox episodes, look more into things like VO2 max and like how to train that. That was a good question that we got. I'm trying to think of some other questions.
Those are the two that I had in my head. Harley, was there any other questions that we missed?
How to select training volumes for different athletes, how to establish those landmarks. I think that's a fun one.
Yep.
Just going to require us to think about it some more.
And be prepared.
Because we actually don't want to phone it. We don't actually just like do this and phone it in.
Yeah.
We try to think about what to do. Today's kind of like in this first 10 episodes process, it's almost us figuring out how to do podcasting. Right. Because like Harley has had to learn a lot about all of this stuff to do it as best we can. You might notice we have like a little bit different mic setup. We have new cameras that we're working with today. We have a new mixer that we're working with today.
New software, new table.
Yeah.
So it's great growing.
So it's like a whole new podcast. So maybe this is a different podcast. And we didn't make it to 10 episodes.
So this is episode 1 of Coffee with
Sean,
yeah.
Coffee with Chris.
We can't do that the day after Kane's birthday.
Oh, we can't. But yeah, so we're learning. And thank you guys for watching, giving us feedback. We are reading it and listening to it.
Yep.
And trying to be better podcasters.
Yeah, we want to do good. We don't want to half-ass this. We're trying to actually make it real and actually good and knowledgeable.
No, it's
informative.
Been fun. How have you? I've enjoyed this. It's been fun because like we do this almost every morning that we're both working.
We do, but we're toning it down because the cameras are on us.
That's absolutely true.
But like,
the first 30 minutes of like when I get here is like us in the office.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah.
Basically.
Sometimes it's just like we put a good song on and jam out to it, but then sometimes we just shoot the shit for 30 minutes about what's going on in life.
So today's episode that like we've done a Hyrox one. We did put our Hyrox audience through 2 weightlifting focus episodes, so we apologize for that. We actually have a guest list. Harley and I broke out yesterday.
Oh, great.
So that we need to start adding more people to that. But I think a thing that I'd like us to talk about, this might be very niche. So if you're just into fitness, like casually into fitness and into weightlifting, sorry, this one might not be for you. We want to talk about the gym business today. And I think that will be kind of a recurring topic that we want to continue discussing, is how to make it in the fitness industry, how our experiences in it, how other people are doing it. We're by no means fitness experts or business experts.
Definitely not business experts.
Definitely not.
No.
Like we've had to get a business mentor to help us figure that out, and that's been really, really helpful in our process of professionalizing everything we do. Our process, and Courtney was a big part of that as well. She was. Yeah, coming in and with like she literally has a business degree,
right? So she knows what she's doing when it comes to that.
Well, I guess that kind of leads us into it. Like, what are we doing here? How did we start in the fitness industry? I think you should walk people through like your experience because it predates Charlotte Strength.
Yes.
And so what were you doing before, and like how did you get into the gym business?
Yeah, it's great. So I'll keep it as short as possible. But when I found fitness, I was actually mid-20s, 23, 24, and doing no exercise at all. So I just started running a 5K a day. That was literally all I did until I ran a real 5K. and 21 minutes. I have not beat that time since because I found out just running a 5K a day is kind of boring.
Okay.
So I stopped doing that, and this was in 2012. So we're talking 13 years ago. I found a Groupon for a CrossFit gym. It was actually CrossFit Indian Trail.
Oh, wow.
It was either before or after Kane owned it. So I did not meet Kane during that process.
I think with the timing, it's got to be before. I think, yeah.
So I was a member there for a month with their Groupon. 3 days a week, I drove from Noda to Indian Trail.
Jeez.
Yeah, 45 minutes each way to do CrossFit. The first workout was Angie, 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, I believe. I'm stubborn. The intro class was me and my other friend who did the Groupon, and we finished that workout with no pre-training. It took us about an hour and a half. The coach eventually just left us because we were just stubborn and weren't going to stop till we finished this workout. We didn't understand how ridiculous it was. But I'll fast forward. We joined a gym here in Noda, and then her and I actually started going to CrossFit 704 in the North Lake area, and that was still in 2013. And then her and her husband bought that gym. They owned it for about 2 or 3 years. I started coaching in 2015 for them.
Okay.
And then 2019, I guess that was after 4 years of them owning, they decided to sell the gym. Just, you know how it is, get burnt out running a small business.
Bro.
That hasn't led to...
What timing.
Yeah.
Chris.
2019, if you don't know, is probably the best year to buy a gym. Name a better year.
Oh man, they got so. I mean, good for really. Like good for them. I don't know what the state of the business was like. If they sold it, like,
yeah,
and they had classic burnout, like it probably wasn't like a cash cow or anything like that.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be in their business or anything, but
yep.
What a time to get out,
right?
Like because it was only going to get worse.
They nailed it.
So
it was so great.
Good for them, man.
So 2019, March of 2019 to be specific, I took over ownership of that gym. And as someone who'd been coaching for a few years, of course, I had all these grand ideas of like, here's everything they're doing wrong. I'm going to change it. It's going to be successful instantly. No idea how to run a business. No idea how to do any of that stuff. I was also working a full-time job. This job was in a factory. It was within about a mile of the gym, which was convenient. But I was working about 60 hours a week, not counting the gym hours. So trying to run a gym and do that was a challenge. So I guess it could be lucky for me that a year from then, exactly a year, COVID started.
Yep.
And I was no longer allowed to run my business. It was about a 40-member gym. It was a really small gym. Mm-hmm. I loved it. We had a great community. But like, I look here, like the rig we have that holds, 8 squat racks. Mine had 2 squat racks in it. It was just a tiny rig. And I decided to close that gym in March of 2020 just because we were in a month-to-month lease at the time. We weren't allowed to be open. I still had my full-time job. I was just like, let's just be done.
Yeah, so you were working did you coach the morning? I can't remember. I think I've asked you this before.
It changed a lot because the way my full-time job is we rotated shifts. So we'd work 2 weeks of first shift, 2 weeks of second shift, 2 weeks of third shift. So depending on what shift I was on, determine which classes I would coach.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even have a set schedule for my coaches because I was like, hey, I need you in the morning this week. I need you in the evening this week. So it almost became like, hey, I need to coach as little as possible.
Yeah.
But like we were in that evil place of it's making enough money to stay open, but it's not making enough money for me to quit my full-time job and go all in.
Right.
And so for me, the best decision was just to be done with it and close it down.
Yeah.
Sold all the equipment. I think I even have some messages from you and Taylor on Facebook Marketplace.
I think we were trying to buy a fan, like one of your fans or something like that.
Yeah, I think y'all didn't end up buying it, but
I don't think so.
We got rid of all the equipment except for a handful of things. I kept a 70-pound dumbbell and a sandbag. Those are the 2 things I kept during COVID.
Man, don't you wish you could go back and do that right now?
Absolutely not. Well, COVID, where like I didn't have to go out in public all the time.
COVID was sick.
I loved COVID.
COVID was the best. I mean, it sucks for our industry, but
yes,
but it was awesome to be home.
I met my wife during COVID. Some great friends. We literally just went to the park every single day, just hung out in the park, worked out, and then just sat there until we got bored and then went home.
That sounds like a much better life.
It was
honestly.
actually really nice.
Like, yeah, Taylor and I we would get breakfast, like pick up breakfast from somewhere once a week, like our weekly outing, and like go to a park and eat breakfast. The rest was just staying home. The gym was in our backyard, and working out. So I guess I can go into my time in history in the business industry. I was a rugby athlete who wanted to get in really good shape, and someone told me, hey, you should check out CrossFit. I got lucky in that person directed me. Like, CrossFit is a hard workout, don't get me wrong. Like, if you do it, especially when you first start, like if you do something like Angie, it kicks your ass and you're like, oh man, what is this thing? And it kind of gets you hooked. Like, if you're a person who like likes challenges or doesn't like the idea of not being able to do something, like it's in your face and it's like, okay, I gotta be better at this, right? So that was a nice part about it. And I hated running, like a lot of people. Like, I cannot stand, it must be my ADHD like brain, but like just doing that same thing for a continuous period of time is my least favorite thing.
So like, that's why you choose a sport where there's only 2 movements.
But there are breaks in between, you know. So that's like the extended, like just continuing to do this. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's only like 2 lifts and then squats essentially. Right. But yeah, something about like extended continuous period of time, like physical activity, is very boring to me.
I definitely see that argument. I will die on the hill though that runner's high is a real thing. It takes a long time to get to it, but it is really nice when the weather's nice. You're out on a long run.
You say so.
It can be nice.
Okay, but yeah, so it was a great way to like be in shape and do. I liked that you. So the other part is not just doing one thing, but doing many things. Right? There's so many skills that you have to get in CrossFit, so that was cool. But the place where I started also had like CrossFit plus strength training, and so a lot of CrossFit gyms, especially in that era, they were literally just going the old style of designing a workout, right? It's just like, hey, pick a gymnastics movement, a cardio movement, and a weight movement, and then mix it in some combination.
Probably 21-15-9.
Yeah, and just have it be in numbers that don't make sense, you know, because it's different, you know, sort of thing. And that is all fine. Like we will continue to say we love CrossFit. Yes, we're here because of CrossFit. But had like a intentional linear progression style strength training element to it. So I started doing that, and that really, really helped my rugby. Being fit and being strong, surprise, really, really helped my sport performance. So when it got to a point where I could no longer do rugby, I was actually, like, my whole life I've been coaching. Like, I was coaching hockey, and then I was coaching rugby, and then when I couldn't play rugby anymore, or it looked like I needed to get some work, I was like, okay, let's start coaching CrossFit. So we did that. My friend opened a CrossFit affiliate called CrossFit Valencia in 2011, and so we, with like very little knowledge of what we were doing, did it. He did a great job with like a business. Looking back on it, Sam, maybe the business projections weren't very realistic, but he did go through like the whole process of like coming up with a business plan. Like, he had like month-over-month projections. So like, to me, I'm like, yeah, this looks legit. Yeah. like
can't argue it.
Like, yeah, exactly. So like, we just know that the training part, like, at least we thought, what that is. Like, how to do a good workout, how to teach basic movements. Now my standards for coaching are like way, way higher. Right. So it's crazy to think about, but you got to start somewhere. You really just have to start by doing. So we did that. That sort of ran its course over a 2-year period. Ended up going and working at a Velocity Sports Performance with my friend Kenny, who actually worked with us at CrossFit Valencia, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth as a sport performance coach, and where we worked on sprints and change direction, jumping and landing, using Olympic lifts, and all this time I'm like learning and like obsessed with weightlifting, and that continues to grow. And then I get asked to join that weightlifting team that's out here. So I moved, and I kind of like my only time spent in the fitness industry at that point is like this niche weightlifting coach, who's coming out here working at various CrossFits throughout the city, just trying to make people better at that, having a very specific focused class, and then getting asked in I guess technically end of 2016, but starting it in 2017 to open like our own club inside of a CrossFit here in town. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll go ahead and do that. And that snowballing into this, I guess, a couple of years like that, operating in that CrossFit gym, moving into a global gym, which we'll talk about in a second, the Fitness Factory, then operating in a shed with a house in front of it. So basically living in my gym, more or less.
Was it your house in front of the shed?
Like, we didn't own the property, we're renting it.
But you were living it.
Yeah.
That's like how you prioritize, like, here's the gym, and there just happens to be a house in front of it.
I was looking everywhere for real estate, and I was like, okay, well, here's something we can afford. like real estate's expensive.
Yes,
It honestly is, especially when you're a small operation.
Yep.
It's a big hurdle to overcome. So, that way I could pay for me and Taylor's living. Like, it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. We did that for 2 whole years, and it was really, really hard, to be honest, up into COVID. And then in the middle of COVID, I had been spying on our current building for years, and we finally got, basically a call back from it because they were so desperate to find tenants because businesses are closing down left and right. And we moved into here, started Charlotte Strength, and I guess that's the shortest condensed version I can do of this.
Yeah. I think we could talk about it for hours, but that gets the important pieces covered for both ends.
Yeah. So that's our history and our experience. It feels like we're people who just really liked fitness, training, working out. You were like a lifelong athlete. Like, you played football through high school, right?
I mean, I was on the team.
Yeah, but you're doing it. Yeah, no, I know. But, I played basically hockey my entire life. I did play some football also. Then I started get out of high school and you don't know what to do. So try out rugby. And I think that's where a lot of people actually pick up CrossFit or weightlifting is like they get out of high school or they get out of college if they do college sports and they miss that part, right? And that's an appealing part about it. That's probably appealing in the CrossFit model.
100%. Because in 2015, or 2012, it's like, I can be semi-competitive because CrossFit was still kind of new.
Right, yeah.
I could go to local competitions and podium and stuff like that. So I was like, this is going to be something I can actually do. But then more real people started doing it, and I kind of stayed the same as people took over.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you kept battling up. So you were actually still getting better, even though more people.
Correct.
And higher quality people or higher athletic level, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we kind of dove into it, get really obsessed by I don't want to say obsessed, really into taking care of yourself. At least when I think about it, I don't do a very good job of this now, but when I started, it's like, okay, I think it's important for me to not just being competitive, because that's a huge part of my athletic career, but taking care of your body for longevity, right? And that's why it's like having a daily fitness-oriented mindset was a big part of it. And so turning that's just like a passion, philosophical belief thing, and then taking the leap and being like, I just want to do this for a living.
Yeah. I think for me, it was, I'd never thought about longevity or being healthy. I just, like you said, I'd always played sports from the time I was 5 until I was 18. I could no longer play sports in rec leagues anymore. So it felt like a way to do that, to continue playing sports. And then my mind shift kind of changed. I forget where I heard it first, but it was somewhere in CrossFit of be the 90-year-old that's climbing the mountain when you die versus just being in a retirement home.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's I want to die on my feet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to die in a home or anything like that. Like, if I have to get checked into a home, like, we're gonna find one of those assisted places or something like that. Like, that sounds awful. But I hope that I'm standing in a gym coaching Harley's great granddaughters or something like that, like doing weightlifting, and I die that way. That'll be traumatic.
That'll be very traumatic. Let's die.
But yeah, being able to still climb up the mountains and things like that. Like, I remember I used to go to a Lifetime to train, and they had the Silver Sneakers program, which is for seniors, which, not talking shit about people making an effort to improve their health at all. Like, that's where they are, and that's where they have to be in that period of time. But that program is largely chair based. Literally, they bust the seniors in, they go into the room and they sit in chairs and they do exercises, but it's all with the support of chair, because they cannot stand for an extended period of time. And that ain't me, man.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
We can't be having that.
I'm not good at sitting still.
So what I wanted to get at is if that's our history, no formal business training.
Correct.
Really no business doing business.
Correct.
Right. And now we know kind of a lot. And
we've learned a ton.
It's gone, the opposite of what you'd want, just through sheer endurance and experience and having to figure this stuff out. So we want to kind of break down the different, fitness business models that are out there today. We want to talk about advertising and marketing and the kind of the deceitful nature of what seems to be pervasive in our industry. And then maybe what we would do, at the end, wrap it up, what we would do again, looking at what the models are and how the business works. Would we even do this again? Or if we would, maybe how we'd go differently.
Well, I think now that can we say we're successful? We're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're successful. Now I would definitely do it again. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. If you know that this is the outcome, you're like, it's all worth it. Totally.
Great.
Yeah, but it didn't need to work out that way. So a couple different type of gym models. The first one we're going to talk about, it's really obvious, is probably what most people think of when they think of gyms, is the Globo gym model, or the basic, large, corporate style gym. So this includes your LA Fitnesses, your Crunch, your Lifetimes, and your Planet Fitnesses. These usually are they're definitely bigger. So if we're 10,000 square feet, they're probably at least double.
Yeah, 20 or 30.
Generally, yeah. Like 20 would be like a small one.
Yep.
Probably, right? So they're usually in the tens of thousands of square feet. They're usually very machine-based.
Yep.
They depend on volume. They actually depend on you not going
Correct.
to the gym, because if they served, because their rates are relatively low because they're doing a volume model. Let's say they need, I actually don't know a lot about the numbers, but it's definitely in the thousands. They need thousands of members there at once, because they're charging, Crunch usually has like a $10 a month rate.
Planet Fitness, didn't they raise their rates recently for the first time in decades?
I think so. Yeah, they were famous for the $10 a month thing. It was actually like there was a great Reddit thread a couple years ago where a homeless guy was like, "Yeah, I just have a $10 a month Planet Fitness membership. I sleep in the parking lot, which is in my car, which is like well lit, and I think it was a 24-hour one.
Okay,
so like they had to have some sort of 24-hour security or whatever, and I go in there and I shower, and then there's free food twice a week,
right?
And they were like working a job and everything. They weren't some person just working the system.
They were obviously like making smart choices to try to get out of that situation.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. It's like, and it's like, and I got really jacked because like
side effect. I'm strong now.
I was basically living at the gym, and so it's like I would just go work out before I showered, and then go sleep in my car until the situation improved. Wow. So, good. I hope that person's doing great.
Can we check in on them?
I don't know. I'll have to go try and dig that up. But so yeah, really, really large. They're usually machine based. They might have some classes including the membership.
I know Crunch has gotten heavy. Because my mom goes to a Crunch.
Okay.
And she really likes it. They have classes, and she takes a bunch of different classes every day. So they do offer that, but I still think their main model is the low price, high volume. Yeah,
low price, high volume, no instruction. They definitely sell personal training. So they have personal trainers on staff. A lot of them actually kind of use and abuse trainers. And a lot of trainers end up leaving those places, and if they either quit or they end up starting their own place because they make more money. Like I know an LA Fitness model, I think the coach is usually, the trainer, because that's the language they use, is usually getting probably like 30 to 50, the side of like 30 to 50% of the rate. So relatively low of like what the person is actually paying for that session. They're almost always turn and burn. 30-minute sessions. So that's the only kind of instruction that's available.
Yeah, and you're also getting, there's, I think, two downfalls to that too, is you're having to be the salesman. You're having to like work the floor to get those clients.
Right.
So you're having to kind of, I don't know, I'm not good at that. I would not be good in that model. But then also, if the member is already coming in thinking, hey, this is a $10 a month gym, and now they're being asked to pay the extra $80 or whatever it is for that session, then the client isn't necessarily in that demographic already.
Right. No, they're very much a corporate run entity. Like they're there for profit.
Yes, 100%.
And so you come in, like they're, unlike here, there's a sales team. Like there's literally like a stable. Like they each have their own desk and everything of salespeople, and they're not trainers. Their job is to just do sales. There's almost always a check-in desk person, right? There is a management team that is monitoring the sales performance and like, are we getting enough memberships? There's the training staff and team. So there's usually like a head trainer. What I forgot to mention, a lot of these companies, they like might force you to get their personal training certification.
Right.
That's really common, where they're like, oh, like it's good that you have that, but you have to get our PT to train here. And then they like create like a ranking system. Like a lot of times they'll be like, well, if you want to be a master level trainer, these are the things you have to do, and all this kind of crap. Now that usually does be associated with like higher pay rates. So like that's their incentivization to like pay them to do their training, is like you'll get a higher rate of pay from the company you're working for. Doesn't really treat coaches very well. No. I've never been a big fan of it. And then there's like the cleaning and maintenance staff, like a whole department. So those are like the main departments of that. Nothing wrong with that model. A lot of people do that. We like when people go work out. Oh, they're almost always climate controlled also.
Yeah,
like so they're nice and comfortable. But I bet the average visit per week is below 1.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's probably like below 0.5.
I think Ben Bergeron said it was like if every member showed up one day, they'd have to close down.
They would absolutely have to
close because they couldn't hold everybody.
Yeah. They've started to evolve and add more things that you see in other gyms, like functional fitness training areas, like turf, sleds. Even Lifetime has Eleiko bars and platforms that you can do weightlifting movements on. So that's pretty cool. if you're not a big, also these businesses are usually like, in addition to being corporate, they're a lot of times private equity owned. So there's another company that owns it, and it's like, you guys just got a profit, and we don't really care about how you do anything else. This just must make money until we can bleed it dry and sell off the assets for equipment.
And do you want to touch on that? They're also usually a real estate company.
Yeah. The Planet Fitness model is really unique, and that's going to lead us into our other gyms we want to talk about who are doing this successfully. Mm-hmm. They are basically a real estate company. So they go around and they buy up a strip, like whatever it is, really like something you like see a grocery store in, right? So they own that strip, and they're going to anchor it with the Planet Fitness. And so the Planet Fitness will be the anchor tenant, and then they can then sign leases for businesses around it and say, hey, we are Planet Fitness, and we have this much foot traffic, blah, 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 because people are coming to the gym. Don't you want to have your, I don't know, maybe smoothie bar next door? Smart. Don't you want to have your health foods or whatever it is? It's a place to get lunch, laundromat, all these kinds of services. So then they sign those leases. They make money off of those small businesses, and that's it. That's really smart, honestly. Like, that's a great model. If the gym itself doesn't do well, they just close it up.
Yeah.
And then they still have those tenants. They might even sell the property if it's that bad. If they can't find a new kind of anchor tenant,
either like a grocery store or another gym to move in.
Yeah, it's usually like a grocery store or like a large retail box store or something like that. They might take over, but they are making money. They're playing the long game. They hold that real estate, and they're making rents off of that. And the gym is just kind of almost a function of that industry rather than trying to help people get fitter and better lives. So that's kind of the dream, honestly. Like from our perspective of being a business that like is always subject to market trends and like rent changes, and in a city that's rapidly growing like Charlotte, where we're like threatened all the time.
Right.
Like, not only like is it difficult for us to continue to negotiate to stay in our current space, but like when you go and look outside, like, okay, well, where else can we go?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, are we moving to Pineville? Like, I don't want to do that.
Also, and it also like limits how much we want to put into upgrading this facility, because like, how long are we going to be here? Hopefully forever, but until we actually own the building, then that's not in writing.
And it's really difficult to own a building as a small business owner.
Yes.
You usually have to have private equity backing you or a corporate structure with a lot of investors going into it. So 2 gyms in the area, CrossFit Vitality and CrossFit Northlake, have kind of done this.
Yeah,
now, I don't know a whole lot about their if they have investors or partners. Right. I don't know anything about that. I know that these people operated successful gyms, and now they own their buildings, in 2 cases. That's amazing.
And then they have tenants renting out. They have PTs that rent out. They have a yoga that rents out. So they have these other businesses renting from their space.
I think one has a church. Like, they do service in the gym, like on Sundays and things like that. And that's amazing. Like, that's the dream.
Yeah,
like,
that is the dream. Because
you're then secure and you can then continue to focus on what you actually like doing, delivering the product, but no one's trying to kick you out, and you're monetizing your hard work in your real estate.
And we talk about that here sometimes, is where we have empty space throughout the day, because like during our class times, during our coached hours, we're busy, but outside of that, the gym's a little slower. It's like, how do we fill that space?
Yeah.
And they've done a great job of doing that.
Yeah. So the large real estate model definitely works. We're not talking down about or talking trash about it. Like, we're envious of it. There's another gym in town that is owned by I think $1 billion real estate holding company. And then the family member of this real estate company is then operating their own gym. So they're kind of doing this model, and they've done the same exact thing. So definitely something to aspire to.
Yeah,
really hard to do unless you have really like millions of dollars, like actually a profile like that to back it up. If you're not doing that style gym, the other ones, if you're not corporate or really, really large, I guess small 24-hour gyms do exist. Those are corporate.
Correct.
Those are usually franchise, if I remember right. Like, you can buy
a franchise.
Yeah. So you could start a Anytime Fitness.
Correct.
Right. And they'll give you all the tools to do that.
Yeah. With a small fee up front.
Yeah, exactly. And then if not, you're kind of an independent operator entirely. Really rare to see and do. Our neighbors, the Fitness Factory, are an example of that. They are one of the longest continually operating gyms in
they've
Charlotte.
been open 20 plus years now.
If it's got to be.
I feel like it's over 20 years.
Yeah, and it's basically entirely family owned.
Yep.
And they have expanded year over year. They had a couple different. I think they're on their 3rd location now.
Yeah, and whenever you see like Reddit posts like best gyms in Charlotte, they always get mentioned because they have so much equipment, so much space, and they've done a great job of growing.
They have everything you could ever want, as far as training modalities goes. The only thing they don't have is air conditioning, just like us.
Yeah, air conditioning's overrated. But
it's actually a really rare thing to see in cities nowadays, is the independently owned Globo style gym because of the space required to do that.
Yep.
It's a big risk.
All the ones I can think of, there was actually one in Huntersville I used to go to, cannot remember the name of it, but it was a tiny little gym. It was like Fitness Factory, but maybe 1/10 of the size. It was a great little spot. It was just a bunch of bodybuilders in there just getting after it, but you definitely don't see that as much as you used to.
Nope. We've got boutique gyms we could talk about. There's a local boutique gym, so they're usually they could be a small personal training studio. Mm-hmm. So you do a smaller footprint so you can operate, and you need less people to do that. Yep. So that's why a person couldn't do that if they have like them and just one employee, or a lot of yoga businesses do that.
Yep.
Yoga businesses, you probably know more than I do. They don't usually have like that many instructors, do they?
I don't think they have a ton because they typically just run in one class at a time. There are some studios that have 2 rooms. So they could have 2 classes, 2 different class styles going at the same time. But for the most part, it's one class being taught at a time. And then because you're not taking up a bunch of space with the members, you can easily cram a bunch of people into one class.
Yeah.
So you can have like a 70, 80 person class within at one time.
But as a result, these are like instructor based.
Correct.
So price starts going up on the membership as opposed to the global gyms where it's just a volume game.
Correct.
They're also playing a volume game, but they are instructing and trying to get people in there.
And it's a lower volume because, like I said, you can have up to 70 or 80 people in that class, but at some point you're going to be capped.
You could probably run like 300-ish members.
Yeah.
Maybe 500 in like a yoga model where you're doing
depending
that.
on the exact square footage.
But like you're probably definitely no more than 500, whereas like you're talking thousands.
Correct.
For a global gym model. There are affiliate style gyms, which is, actually a Hyrox. Like we are a Hyrox training club affiliate. CrossFit gyms are affiliate gyms. And we want to distinguish this. Those are, you pay an affiliation fee and you get to use the language, that you are a Hyrox gym or a CrossFit gym. But there is nothing else.
No, it's like language, some education, depending on which affiliation you go with, and access to some programming. But no equipment, no branding. I guess a little bit of marketing, but like for the most part, it's just.
So the affiliate fees are usually a little bit lower.
Yes.
And then you can like do whatever you want.
Yep.
But yeah, no quality control, which is a big thing. No real protections.
Yep.
Honestly, so you get what you pay for.
Yep.
Right. And then the differentiator between that are the franchise gyms. So these are, a lot of them actually are like corporately owned, but you could start a Orange Theory franchise. You can start an F45 franchise.
Correct.
You pay a franchise fee, but they are giving you then like literal step-by-step, like they'll have a business operation plan. They'll say this is the equipment you have to buy. And it's much more straight. It's like opening a McDonald's, basically.
And it's also like, you have to buy the equipment from them. I don't know. I don't know if they're marking it up so they're making even more money. I'm not trying to.
Some of them do.
Yeah, because you have to have the kettlebell with their logo on it versus just a random kettlebell that you can buy used. So I think to me that's the biggest difference between the franchise and affiliation is how much it takes up front to get started with a franchise.
Yeah, significant investment. It's usually like $1 million investment minimum. Like they even say like you can't even apply unless you have like $1 million net worth.
Right.
Things like that. So anytime you see a Barry's, an F45, an Orange Theory, or another franchise, it's probably a group.
Correct. I was going to say a lot of times they usually have like the placard of who owns it. Obviously it's going to be at least an LLC, but it's usually a group that owns multiple locations.
Yeah, it's like multiple independent investors who are wealthy, but they're kind of going in it together instead of like a large, giant, nameless corporate entity, right? So that's the main difference there. And then the last kind we've got are sports performance gyms, which also have franchises. So same thing. I remember, I don't even know what it would be now, but it was definitely same situation, like $1 million net worth, $1 million initial investment required to start up a Velocity Sports Performance. There are way less of them nowadays.
Yeah.
You have the D1 franchises, but these are usually very large gyms, usually facilities that require skilled staff and very expensive equipment. They might have 40-yard indoor track in addition to 40 by, say, a football. I've seen a full
football field.
A lot of them are smaller, I'd say, but it could be that large in addition to like top of the line machines, top of the line barbells and plates. So really expensive to operate.
And location's going to be typically in a nicer location, so rent's going to be a lot higher.
Yeah. Well, because they need larger spaces, they're usually like in suburban areas
That's
or like
true.
business parks. So I'll give them that. But it's still like your rent's high because the space is
Right.
huge, you know. And then there are the independents. So we have a good example actually in Pineville is Tread Athletics, which started as kind of like a remote baseball pitching coaching company.
Okay.
And they were so successful in like the athletes that we're working with and had so many people working with them, they were able to transform that into the physical facility they have now. And now it's like invite only. Like you can't just go train there is my understanding. So they may also have investors that help them do that, but they own their own facility and do their own thing. And it's kind of nice to hear a story about, you know, coaches just doing it and getting it done.
That's the dream, is getting there to where you own the whole place and you're able to do what you want.
It's just from their work. It was because their product was so good and so many people wanted to do it that it transformed into that. And that's amazing. So if those are the kinds of gyms, what is this one?
I think we're a blend of all three. Can we be? Because like you could call us a Globo gym in the sense that we have the small 24-hour access. Like
That's
we're
true.
a smaller footprint, but we're not tiny. We're what, 10,000 square feet total?
Yep.
You can definitely say we're boutique in the sense that we have a nice lobby, that we have a nice room in here.
No air conditioning.
There's air conditioning in 1/8 of the facility.
In the room we're in.
In the room we're in, there's definitely air conditioning. But then I think we're going to fall more in line with the sports performance / affiliation type gyms, because we have an affiliation with High Rocks. So that part of the gym puts us there. We're developing a sports performance program that's going to put us there.
That's an affiliate,
And then
for us. So.
that is an affiliate. That's right.
Yeah.
And then I almost want to say, like, because we are a USAW club, that's an affiliation as well.
That's true.
So almost like, I guess we are an affiliate gym is what we are.
We're like a multi-affiliate gym. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, we have 3 affiliations.
Damn it. Really thought we were unique. But
we're unique that all 3 are under one roof.
that's true. That's
That's
very
what
unique.
I guess that's what makes us unique. And then also we are aspiring to be that Globo gym in the sense of like, you've said it multiple times, you want to own a gym. You want to be like, no, this is your home. I know you put a lot of work into that, and then like providing jobs for people like myself who has a full-time job that is kind of rare within a space like this.
Yeah. In an independent, non-invested, like, so full disclosure, like I've only ever taken out one loan. That was when we started the shed house situation. We just needed more equipment.
Yep.
And actually my family helped me take out a personal loan to do that. And it was not a lot of money. I think it was $13,000, which is much less than the $1 million investments. So like when I guess I'm saying this, like we've only ever worked with the money that we have, you know, I've never gotten investors, never like raised capital, never taken out a large loan. We've only been able to mess. And that's partly due to my situation as being just a coach. Yeah. That's it. Not somebody who, you know, did something else in business, got rich and decided, I'm going to start this business. Like, no, I'm just a coach and this is the money that we have available to us. And this is all we've got to work with it. And sometimes I hear stories about people that are doing it that way, but are saying they're doing it that way, but they're not.
Right.
And it's a little irritating.
Yes. Yeah. Because you've put in the work. Like you've ran a successful business to where you have a little bit of money to spend to grow, and then others do it different ways. That's a little frustrating.
A little frustrating. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we're a little bit of blend. We're 24 hour.
24 hours.
That's a big thing. So you get that in a Globo. We're doing sport performance. We have all these affiliates. I think, you know, we have a really hard time communicating what we are to people when they call, and to the point that we try not to call it a gym, I think. Yeah,
we try to call it a training center, right?
Yeah, a training center, training facility, because it's so training and instructor focused.
Yes.
Like I always say, our real product is community, and then that community is interested in instruction, in learning and in growing and developing, and that's what we as coaches are trying to offer.
And I think to the point, like we still love our members who don't partake in that. They just want to be here because they like our facility and like the people here. But like when we have new people coming in and they're like, I don't really want to be coached, we will tell them, usually Fitness Factory is where we send them. We're like, hey, we cost more. You should go there because we want to coach you. If you don't want to be coached, you're probably not going to fit in here.
Yeah, exactly. We send tons of people to Fitness Factory, specifically that. This is a coaching gym. This is a place to to receive coaching and to be a part of a community. They also have a great community. I wouldn't say it's maybe as tight knit, or I don't know. Maybe they don't have like. They definitely don't have like pod meeting, like our team meetings. Right. They don't have maybe organized social events. Yep. But that doesn't mean that there isn't like people being positive. I know there are people in that facility, like being positive, being supportive. Ours is maybe just a little more organized and formal.
Because like typically we're all aiming towards doing the same thing.
Right.
At least within
that's probably the differentiator. Is that we're team first and we're doing the things that we do together. You want to talk about marketing?
No, I hate marketing, but I will.
Well, I guess that's why I want to talk. So part of any business, and especially the gym business, is marketing it. Like even what we're doing right now, I guess can be considered, marketing. We are not good at it.
We're not.
Especially for that feeling, we don't like doing it. We don't like talking about it. We would love it if people just saw what we do. I don't
want them to see. I just want them to come work out.
Yeah,
and then keep working out. Like, that's what I want you to do.
But that's not how decision making works. You have to convince people that what you have is something that they're interested in doing.
Yep.
And a lot of times, especially in fitness, I think this happens, like this definitely happens in like car sales, like any like really sales oriented, probably retail also, things like that. You're also inventing a product. Some people invent products that actually solve real world problems. Some people make up a problem.
Correct.
So that they can sell their product.
Yes.
Right. And so I think we have a product that does solve a real world problem. Like if you come to the gym and you're invested in your health and fitness, you're going to have a better life and you're going to have a good experience. Yes. But you're going to have a better life. You're going to live longer. You're going to pay less for your healthcare.
Yep.
So you're investing in yourself to save money later if you just want to be cold about it.
Yeah, it's like a cheesy thing to say, is like invest in your health and wellness now, but that's literally what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't even think it's cheesy. I think it's this legitimate, like, do you want to pay this membership or do you want to end up paying more for diabetes medication?
Correct.
Like that's kind of it, which is getting more expensive every day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How's Medicaid and Medicare going right now?
It's going really well. But there's several marketing agencies.
Yes.
One that we worked with. I'll go ahead and name them. I don't really care.
Yeah, I can talk.
If you want to talk about our experience, we decided because we don't like doing this. We are like, hey, I like to learn things ourselves, and I like to go and like even in this process, we're learning how to do this.
Every time we try to make it a little bit better.
But when you gotta go fast, you should hire somebody.
Yes.
Right. So we thought if we hire somebody, we'll be able to do this faster and figure it out. So
and we referred to them because other people had decent to good experiences with them.
So we hired a fitness marketing agency to help us set up paid ads. Yep. Do you want to talk about our experience?
So when we hired them, they had a process to go through, like an onboarding to use their agency. And basically what it was going to do is we were going to create ads. We're going to put these ads on socials, and it's going to be lead generating. That's the main goal of this agency, was to get us leads. And I will say they were successful in that.
That's true.
That in their goal of getting us leads was very successful. The ads, we were told we couldn't change the wording of the ads. So myself,
because it was their formula, right?
It was their formula it works everywhere, apparently.
Yep.
So me and another one of our coaches had to go film these ads out in landmarks that represent where we are in the city. And we had to use phrases such as, do you want to be toned and fit, those type of things.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't want to do those things because like, that's not who we are. That's not what we're trying to sell. And it felt a little disingenuous. So we did change some of the wording.
Yeah.
We went not behind their backs. They still saw the videos, but we decided to change because like, we just weren't going to say
minor refinements.
And so we made the ads. We sent them. They put them into the our Facebook and Instagram for us. And we did get a lot of leads.
That is true.
We got hundreds of leads. And then our task was to then call all of these leads, which we did. And we had one person out of these hundreds of leads purchase something from us.
Right.
Not a single other one purchased a thing. That one person did not make it through their discounted onboarding. They came maybe twice. It was very low quality leads, I would say. It was people that they had to fill out this form that said what they were doing, and you'd call them and they wouldn't remember filling out this form.
Yeah.
It was just extremely frustrating. We were attracting people that aren't going to fit into our community. They're not wanting to do weightlifting. They're not wanting to do high rocks. They're not wanting to make fitness a high priority. They just wanted a quick fix. And even though that was one of the questions was, do you want a quick fix?
Yeah, it was literally, do you want to make a long-term investment? Like, do you want to do the work or do you want a quick fix?
And they would say quick fix.
And everybody says quick fix.
It was just like, so it just was not getting the people that we wanted. So I will say we learned something from that. We learned how to use ads.
Yes,
And
which
so
is not hard.
It's not hard. It made it really easy. So just go try and you'll figure it out.
Yep.
But now we make the commercials what we want to do, where we actually speaking to the people we want to be here versus just everybody.
Yeah, I thought when we were engaging, like I understood, we're not salespeople. There was a sales training component. So like there were calls and there were modules for us to do, and Sarah did the majority of that and then like pass that along to us. And like the only way you get better at sales is by doing reps.
Yep.
I feel like we didn't even get to do the reps because the people didn't even come in.
Right.
Because Sarah would call them or you would call them and that was it.
That was it.
So you didn't even get to come in here and do sales.
Correct.
Really. So they did offer that. I did think there would be more of a adjustable, collaborative, whatever sort of relationship to where it's like, oh, okay, like that language isn't working for your brand.
Right.
And you trusted us with our script and our formula, or they called it their recipe, and that didn't work.
Yep.
And instead of being like, okay, let's tweak this to go after your audience, it was, can you change your entire business to match our script? So to me, that's the sign of a bad ad agency.
Yeah.
Because a good ad agency should identify what your brand's about.
Correct.
Identify who your target audience is, like your actual target audience, and then go after that.
Yep.
This one said, this works for this type of business. You're going to match.
Right.
You are now going to become the type of business that we can sell.
The way they're set up is that they can say, hey, we guarantee you're going to get 500 leads. And they're not lying.
We're not lying about that.
Then they can say, well, did you do all of our training? Did you become a better salesperson? And that's not who we are. We're not salespeople. We're coaches.
Yeah.
Even though Sarah went through that training and learned and got better, she did learn some stuff from it, but we were still getting people that don't want to do what we do.
Yeah. So I think we would have been better served like taking that money and hiring an actual salesperson.
Yeah.
And then they would do it, if we want to go about it. So I wouldn't do that again. Another company that does that sort of thing is called Gym Launch. They may have a different name now.
I get their ads.
They do basically the same paid ads thing. They're big on, you've probably seen them, 6-week challenges, which is what we were being asked to do.
Yep.
Which nothing wrong with that. My main gripe about their style, they claim to have many, many successful gyms. So did fitness marketing agency, and maybe those gyms are successful in that style. But their whole thing is a bait and switch plan where it is free. You come in, they attract people, say claim your free offer. It's really $500 or $600, and it's free if you come to all the classes and you meet. I think it's like one of two metrics. You either got to lose, 20 pounds of fat or so much % body weight, which is like impossible, actually physically impossible for almost all people in the period of time that you're talking about. And then even if they somehow are able to do it, like the thought is, okay, they'll be so convinced by the methods that they'll continue to pay a membership after that point.
So the people that don't succeed, so the goal isn't really to get you more members. The goal is just to get you those short-term $500 people.
If they come in and they meet the need, like if they do it, if they try hard to try to get their money back, they'll see, oh, training is good for me. So it's kind of like a psychology trick to get them to have good habits.
Okay.
While, you're asking them to put skin in the game. So I'm not necessarily against that. What I am against is calling it free.
Yeah.
Is it pretending like it's free when it's not.
Potentially free.
Really, and it's like, well, they won't come in if you don't say free. It's like, fuck you. Like, that's terrible. What you should say is, you can get $500 back.
Yes.
If you do the things that we ask you to, which will help your life.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they are like, oh yeah, this is great for me, and stay after that. So it's only the deceitful intro offer, like a free 6-week program when it's not.
And I think that leads into everything we're discussing here is just in marketing, 90% of things are a lie.
Yeah. It's probably as pervasive in other industries. We're not in other industries, so I can't talk about it. There's a gym in our own town that kind of did their launch, announced that there were so many memberships, right, and said that they sold through them. But then somehow magically there were more available.
Right. Before even opening.
before even opening, which like there are people do pre-sales, like it's not impossible to do very well, but it was in the thousands is what was said. And then the idea was everything is making it seem like there's scarcity in offers and urgency, like they have to sign up immediately. Even when fitness marketing had us do it, their landing page had like a clock, like you only have 5 minutes to claim this offer. It's like, no, you don't. Like this is ridiculous. But so this post from them has been taken down. It's like kind of like join the wait list and see if you can get into the next round. So really, they're collecting your email you can become a lead, for free, without them having to spend money off of it by creating this fake sense of urgency. And then all of a sudden, magically, there are hundreds of more memberships, and now it's still allegedly sold out, but it's not. I don't.
It says there's a wait list. But again, don't know how much truth there is to that. That's just to collect your information and then move forward.
Seems pretty disingenuous.
Yeah, it is.
That's fitness, though. So what have we done? We've done FMA.
We've done FMA.
What have we done? So what have we done before that, and what have we learned since then?
So I think we did nothing before that.
Yeah, basically.
Like our first 4 years
we
of
only
business.
did social media, right?
Yeah, so like no paid ads. Not even like with like boosting a post, nothing. I don't think so.
Right.
I think it was like literally just posted on social media. And like I do think we should boost ads because in my mindset is people that follow us on social media, they already know us. They already know what we're doing.
They're already our audience.
Their audience already. We're trying to get new audience members.
Sure.
So I think by boosting important ads is a good way to get our name out there more. So I do think that is a great way to do that. But then even like talking to our members, like trying to communicate with them, a lot of them, younger people aren't on social media as much as our generation is. And so like, they're like, oh, send me an email. Oh, I don't check emails. It's like, oh, send me a text. Oh, I'm bad about responding to text. So it's younger generations have gotten really good about being off their phones compared to us. From what I've heard.
Okay.
What I've heard. They also drink less alcohol too, so they're doing great.
Yeah, well, they're doing other stuff.
They are definitely doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So trying to find those ways to reach those eyes. I do think still doing the boosted ads is great. But that younger audience, I'm still not sure on how to reach those people.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't really know what we're doing. As much as we do know, we still don't know.
But we keep trying new things, and this podcast is one of them.
Yeah, this is one of them. If hopefully people see conversations that we have, feel that we're authentic in who we are. And I think that's the big lesson from the FMA thing is like, if we're going to signal and message, if you are going to pay for something, have it be authentic to what this place is and like what we offer, and hope that it finds who that resonates with.
And I think our business coach has been a huge help, mentor, coach, whichever you want to call it. Reaching out to leads consistently.
Sure.
Because my personality, I do not like being rejected or being ignored or being told no, all those things. So I will continue to message these leads until they say stop messaging me. I'm only doing it once every 2 weeks, but just continue that slow drip of just keeping them on the hook, just hoping eventually they do come try out. But I do think that typically they're not going to work out if it's been 6 months and they haven't responded or haven't come in. But there's that once every 20 or 30 that they actually like, oh yeah, the timing is right now. I want to come try out.
So just being consistent.
Be consistent.
Consistently execute, which is something I'd say like the whole business depends upon and our coaching depends upon. Like consistently execute. It's the same thing. It just happens to be something we hate. Like if I get more than one message from a company, you have guaranteed that I will never use your product, even if I need it.
Yes.
I will go elsewhere. But that's a thing unique to me. And it turns out most people aren't like that.
And I'm an habitual unsubscriber on emails. Every time there's like the unsubscribe button, I hit it. Like I hate getting messages. I hate getting that stuff. So I understand it. But we want to keep growing our business. We want to keep doing this. So we got to keep reaching out.
Damn it. Okay. Well, we'll put a pin in it there.
No, we got one more. We're good. I want to know if you do it again.
So putting a pin on marketing, because we just clearly are not marketing people.
Nope.
And we hate it. And we could bitch about all the different styles of like deceitful and untruthful marketing, which is this kind of part of the nature of it, right? Knowing what we know now, knowing about the different kinds of gyms, if we could do it all over again, one, would we do it?
Yep.
And two, how, and if so, how would we go about it? I guess it's kind of unfair because we've made it here and things like we've made it to the place. We're not finished, but like we're very happy. Like our quality of life is now
Yes.
relatively high,
Yep.
and like we're in a place to maybe turn it in to like its finalish form.
Yep.
Right. So like you'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna succeed. Of course, I'll do it again, but that isn't guaranteed
No.
at all. So not knowing that this is definitely going to work out,
Yeah,
but
right.
having the knowledge you have now,
Okay.
would the juice be worth the squeeze to you?
I think I'm gonna say yes still, because I feel like what I've learned would it would not ensure, it would raise the probability of it being successful.
Yeah, I mean, you're just more skilled now, right? So
yeah, just because like I know it's going to be a ton of work, but also like being less stubborn, outsourcing the things I'm not good at, like marketing. Like, okay, let's hire a different agency, but let's hire somebody to do marketing for us. Let's hire the mentorship that's going to help us implement these systems and learn how to do things quicker. So I think knowing that, and then also one thing that's been key for me is like not getting too emotionally involved, because I think it's in our nature to care about our athletes, and sometimes they move on, and that's okay for whatever, like life changes, whatever it is. I think those two lessons for me, just knowing those, I still think I would end up in a good spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'd still do it.
So we've learned nothing.
I'd like to believe that I would, like, I like that I have the knowledge I have now. Yeah, we know much more about business. We know I'm more useful. Like I feel actually, maybe it's untruthful. I feel I can actually go into another business now and be relatively successful if it was a service-based interest and not necessarily not a retail one.
Yeah.
Like, so if I went to another kind of service company, I think I could actually like make an impact.
You want to open a bar?
And be successful. No, I don't want to do that. But that's like a mix, because you have to buy cogs and then turn it into anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I like this too much. I was supposed to do something else. I don't know what that is, but I'm a weightlifting coach. Yeah, I was supposed to teach English or whatever, but I've been coaching my whole life, so I guess I needed to coach. For me, it would be like, would I go the professional coaching route, like what I do, kind of what our friends do, and try to be a strength coach? And I think that industry, that's another topic, is really fucked in how they
should have them on as host.
They abuse labor.
Yeah.
It's systematic in taking in people, kind of how the big corporate gyms treat trainers, kind of same thing.
Yeah.
But so I'd probably do it again. So what would we do? All right, we both answer yes.
Yep.
We would do it. Now we have more knowledge and resources.
Yep.
Okay. What would we do differently?
For me, it's take the help, not assume I know everything. Because like I definitely went into it with like, hey, this gym is doing okay, but I know what's wrong with it, and all my fixes are going to work. So being more open to other people's feedback and to people that are experts in smaller area or different areas helped me along the way. And when things don't work, not be so stubborn to blame other people or give up on them so quickly too. Because sometimes things don't work because you don't give them enough time.
Okay. I think as much as I don't want to, I might do like an investor route. I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Okay. Because I've seen, what I've learned from you is like, because sometimes I'm like, hey, Sean, I want this cool new toy. And you're like, no, we can't buy it right now. I think that is what has led to, a big part of what led to our success is your unwillingness for us to lose money.
Well, just to keep it, we've never, like the entire time I've been running heavy metal or this gym, we've never been in the red, not a single time. Now that doesn't mean we were in the black a lot.
One penny.
But we've never ever, like, aside from that one loan basically, and even then we were never operating negatively, so I just always operated within our means. That slowed us down.
That does slow growth, but I don't know if having such a large, I guess if it's an investor, it depends on what you got to pay back. I guess there's the stipulations.
Yeah, I'd at least explore it, I think, because so it's really easy to sit here and be like, okay, hey, you should hire a business coach, or you should hire somebody for sales, or you should, all these things you should spend money on.
Yep.
So like that's my main recommendation. I got to talk about this for weightlifting specifically. If you're a weightlifting coach and you're operating a weightlifting club, like what you should do when you're getting started. And my advice is to stay small as long as possible in that environment. Go do the CrossFit route or whatever other gym that's already operating, come up with some sort of arrangement or have a really small rental fee in there, and then like develop yourself as a coach and develop your processes. So that's what I would do. So I would probably still do that period of coaching for me where I was either working sport performance or coaching at CrossFit gyms, like doing weightlifting and like building the club that way. Because then I have a client base that I have that if I do go open a facility, I'll be ready to go. So that part I wouldn't necessarily change. I would build the client base that way. But the thing I would do differently with the knowledge I have is that's a great time to build out all your processes. So we've been building the airplane mid-flight. Like our airplane's been in the sky.
That's what 2025 has been.
And like we don't have wings. So we've like, let's put a wing here. It's like, oh crap, well we have wings, so now we can fly, but we don't have landing gear.
You
know, so
we just take
like
turns flapping, like we're keeping it afloat.
So that's kind of like how we've done it, is that we don't know those things. So having that knowledge about like how a business should properly structure and what logistical SOPs should exist and all that. Like I always knew that how like a gym should run from working in it. But you don't know how to systematize that and scale it really well. So that's what we've been doing better, right? So my advice to those people in that period is like, okay, become a good coach, grow your client base in your free time, because you don't own the facility. And you should either have another job, probably should have another job. But then if you're passionate about it, you got to spend the time to literally just write up an SOP for everything you can think of. An employee onboarding manual, an employee handbook, a member onboarding plan, a marketing plan, like how you want to do it and how much you're going to budget. Like you should have every one of these handled, I think. Because you're going to be so fucking busy running the place.
You won't have time.
When you get started, you're not really going to have time to do that. Or you're going to have to pay someone else.
Exactly.
And like that just costs a lot of money.
And then when you are successful and you're ready to open that second location, you're ready to just run. Yeah,
you can just copy paste and start over again based on what it is. So I think that's what I would do, is build out those things that we've had to kind of figure out on the fly. And they don't need to be perfect. Like the big toxic trait of mine is like not wanting to do something until it's perfect. That's exactly. That's a huge problem of mine. So I think I would need somebody to tell me like, hey, doesn't part
have to be perfect.
It's like, hey, just get it done. So whether that be you or whoever, like let's just get something. And if we find when we run that process that it isn't to our liking, it's like, okay, we'll just change it.
Exactly.
Right? We always do that.
It's better to have something than nothing when it comes to those processes.
We continuously look at things we don't like.
And I do that now. Like when we go through, like the next time we onboard a coach, I'm sure we're going to find something that we didn't like on that process. We'll make a small adjustment.
So, and that's okay. That's that's iterating. I talk about this a lot, the iterative process of coaching. Like we don't exactly know all the truth all the time. So it's the same thing in business. I would like to believe, so for scale sake and for speed sake and for knowing like the kind of facility, I would like to make a facility like this. I think there would be more sport performance from the get-go, because I'm passionate about that, and I like working with athletes who are like doing it for sport, and that just requires a lot more investment. I would like to believe that I could do that.
That would be cool.
Or convince people to do that, but I don't know that I could.
We're going to find out soon.
Are we? Oh no, I mean like get investors in like a corporate structure.
Okay,
like I don't know. We had a partner one time, and man,
oh man,
that really didn't work out. So our answers are yes.
Yes.
We would hire people
to
do the job.
Potentially explore investors.
Which requires money. So you probably need an investor.
If you got a lot of money, just do it. You're good.
Yeah, if you got money, you can do anything.
You can do whatever you want.
And you won't go to prison.
No. That is actually kind of true.
Those are facts.
Yeah, especially now.
So, all right, we'll wrap up our gym business episode. So I think we'll continue to revisit things, but this is kind of like been fun to talk about our intro and where we're at now and what we would do again. And hopefully if you're just a listener, if you're a coach or a gym owner, like hopefully our mistakes have been good lessons for you. If you're just a member, one of our audience who's just loyal to us and want to listen to, hopefully this was enlightening and like on our process and like why things are the way they are. And then maybe a little bit revealing about like fitness marketing and marketing in general being all bullshit.
Don't believe it all.
No, but thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Sean.
All right. We'll see you next time on I won't.
Oh yeah. You'll be with me and surprise guest. I can't announce it. He said yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Me and Coach Houston, we're going to talk about recovery on the next podcast. So can't wait to see y'all.
All right. Bye guys.